Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Detonation. This is part 2. We lost the internet, but that doesn't matter. We're going to forward on because we're strong. We're strong soldiers, aren't we?
I'm back.
All right. So we were up to this question. In your opinion, what is the role of the artist in contemporary society, in modern day society? What is the role of the artist?
I think the role of the artist is to send the message to the society, because we have so much power, and I think we have to use this power and we have to use our voice, and throughout our art we should express what we want to see, what changes we want to see in the society, and what message we have to send. And I'm so proud of the artists like Ai Weiwei, very political artist, and Tracy Emin or Maria Abramovich, who is Russian, and they do a lot, and they are not afraid to do things like to be political and to use their voice. They're not scared, and they don't care if they sell their art or not, but they want to do something with the world.
Absolutely. So how do you find inspiration for the artwork that you do? How do you find that inspiration?
You know, I never had any problem with inspiration, and I can get inspired in my dreams. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, I've seen something interesting, and then I create an artwork. Or actually travels helps me a lot and inspires me a lot, because I travel so much around the world and I see different cultures, and it really inspires me. And because now I work on this planet series and I use lots of natural materials. So for example, I went to Russia and I went to the shop and I bought bark from Siberia and Siberian forests. Or now I was in Stromboli volcano. I was climbing the volcano and I collected the ash and the sand. It's black color. It's so beautiful and shimmering. So I will create another artwork using that sand. So nature inspires me, I would say.
That's so cool, and I like the fact you get inspired through your dreams. I mean, that's something you only hear from hippies sometimes, but you're cool. So that's cool.
Yeah, and actually, I remember all my dreams, and I see them every single day.
That's awesome. We have interviewed several contemporary artists on this show, and John from Art Sundays he has a degree in art, and he's very, very knowledgeable in the art field. And I thank John for coming on most Art Sundays and doing that with me. And we've talked about AR and VR technologies to create the art objects. Do you plan to use them in the future?
That's so fascinating. I think that's the future and I'm impressed with this kind of artists, because I love this kind of art myself. Hopefully I will use it in the future. I'm not the tech person, but maybe I will give my idea and someone will implement it, because it's really interesting. Recently, when I'm this year in the World Economic Forum, there was one VR project, one VR technology. It's also kind of art. And they give you a seed. You wear these glasses and some equipment. They give you a seed. You plant the seed in the soil, and then you feel yourself and you see yourself as a tree. So there is a wind blowing on you, and you see this beautiful tree somewhere in Amazon, and there is a parrot sitting on your hand, which is a continuation of a tree, and you really feel as a tree. You feel the smell. And it's incredible, and you see yourself growing, and it's so beautiful. You see beautiful jungle, and then over a sudden you smell fire. Fire is coming, and then you see fire, and then you see yourself dying. I was crying there. It was so heartbreaking, and I think through this kind of art, you also send the message, and I support it a lot, and I think everybody we should use this VR virtual reality to send the message to people.
Yeah, it can be used as a really good education tool to get people really involved and understand, because a lot of people don't understand because it's not a reality. Your description of Your description of becoming the tree is very interesting because if you remember, I don't know if you saw it, but Fantasia 2000 was very famous right at the turn of the century, and that was a huge production. And there was, at the very end, there was a song, and Mother Nature, she plants this beautiful world, and then the angry volcano, he wipes it out, and then Mother Nature comes back and she replants all the trees and the cycle of life. And that reminded me of that, and that's incredible.
Yeah, but now we're destroying the cycle of life, so God knows.
Yeah. Is there something you can't work without in your studio?
I think the music, to be honest, because music puts me in the mood, and I need the right music to be creative. Sometimes I like to work in silence, but usually I prefer to have some nice music on the background. But then, of course, my instruments, but there is so many things that I can't work without.
What type of music do you like? Classical or jazz or heavy rock and roll? I mean, I don't know.
You know, depends. Like when I create, I like kind of loungy music, or depends. Sometimes I love house music.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Please tell us more about the art technique in which you are working. I've read it is called mixed media.
Yes, it's called mixed media. And it talks for itself. You use different mediums, different materials. As I explained, I couldn't decide on one or two material which I would like to use. I always like to experiment and use different things in my artworks. So I love to use resin. I love to use cement, sand, diamond dust, wood, dry flowers. Everything, acrylics, oil, that's basics, yeah.
They're all quite coarse if you think about it. It's quite coarse. Dry flowers are quite coarse. Cement is quite coarse. You know, it's quite.
Yes, it's always like gives different texture and different feeling. And like my artworks, they're kind of 3D, so you want to touch them and to see
I love
what it's made of.
I love it. One of your artworks, The Planet Made of Gold, which we showed on the first part before the internet died, were nominated at the Michelangelo Art Prize. Could you tell us more about this artwork in particular?
So this artwork, it was my first artwork from this series. I used gold leaf as an ocean, and beneath this there is a layer of blue acrylic, so you can see the parts of blue and then gold on top. And the continents are made of colored cement, and diamond dust on top. So it's very shimmering, like when you put light on it. And I think it's very beautiful, and Michelangelo Art Prize, they love this artwork. I went to Venice. Oh, not to, Venice was something else. I went to Rome to get this award. With this, is it a 3D object or is it a flat object? This is, yeah. So the continents, they are kind of 3D. Yes, it all has texture. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool. And how was Venice? I mean, I hear it's stinky, right? Is it a bit stinky? But it's a beautiful city, right?
I love Venice so much. Recently I went to Venice because it was another exhibition, Anima Mundi, and the two of my artworks, Antarctica and Lost in Blue, are there. I'm not sure if you have them. But yes, I went to Venice to film my art diary. I have my YouTube channel where I put the videos from different parts of the world related to art. So we filmed Venice Biennale and the art show Anima Mundi, where my artworks were presented.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right.
Yeah, it's different, yeah.
Yeah.
To other art.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right, so for the moment, two of your arts are on display at the International Anima Mundi Festival.
Anima Mundi, yes, yes.
Yeah. What is the art festival and why did you participate in it?
So Anima Mundi is so the theory behind the festival is how human soul is connected to human body and how human is connected to the nature. So I think my artworks represent it very well, because we humans are part of nature, and it was also a great opportunity for me to be a part of Venice Biennale, because the exhibition was taking place at the same time during the Biennale, and it's really fantastic. So I got a chance to see the artworks from all over the world as well, of different artists.
And you're right. We are symbiotic with nature, and if we destroy nature, we destroy ourselves. And this is why this plastic pollution problem is such a big problem, right?
Exactly. And we don't have Planet B, so we have to. You have to work it out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. We don't have Planet B. I mean, we can try and build Planet B on Mars or somewhere, but it's not as exciting as Earth. Earth's the best, right?
Exactly. I want to stay here. I don't know about you, but I want to stay here.
Yeah, so do I. When will you see? When will we see the full series of your artworks, The Lost Planet?
So yes, I'm planning to do my solo show in November in London. So in Mayfair, in one of the galleries there. So I think it will be a very nice show, and you're invited.
Oh, really? Can I come along?
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh well, I'll try and make it over there. There's a lot of international events I have to get to, but I'll try and make it there. It looks absolutely fantastic. I want to know more, because like I had a quick look at your Instagram, and I saw you on you had the table out there, and you had all your tools and stuff. I mean, what do you do? Like, that's a lot of tools.
Oh, that's a lot of tools. I keep on buying. Like, I love to buy new tools. It's like the whole room is covered with materials, with different paints, with the torch, with the fire, with the I don't know, you name it. I have everything there.
And what, you read the books, or you hire someone to help you, a craftsman or craftswoman to come in and help you, or you just read the books, or what? What do you do?
No, I like to. YouTube is a great tool. If you want to know something new, you just go on YouTube, and you can find anything there.
So you're one of these YouTube university graduates. That's really cool in the art world, and you make something.
Yes, and now I have my YouTube channel where I want to educate people about art.
Wow. Okay.
Those who want to know something new about art, yeah.
All right, we'll have to have you back on the show so we can keep up to date with your Lost Planet series, because it's super exciting, and we've got lots of environmental people who come on, and we talk about deep policy on technologies and tools and social systems and economic policies, and this is just the show for that sort of stuff on boring policy stuff, but it's very important. I mean, you're at the World Economic Forum, and you're at the United Nations, so you fundamentally understand all this. So that's really exciting. And there's a lot of Elon Musk. I was just watching a interview with Elon Musk and Jack Ma, who's Alibaba, and well, Elon Musk has got everything, right?
Yeah,
Tesla, Solar City, blah, blah, blah. But Elon, they asked Elon Musk an interesting question on the environment, and they said, what do you reckon? Do you reckon that we're going to get through this? And he said, you know what? Like, I think with education, the rising amount of technologies, the rise of the vegan, the veganism and stuff, the global consciousness, the pushing back of environmental issues, with the Great Green Wall Project in Africa, more environmental justice that's arising from things like the BP oil spill and all that. He said, add all that up, and he sees the world actually surviving the global climate crisis. Do you see that as well? Are you an optimist, or do you think it's all doom and gloom?
I'm an optimist as a person, but when I see the human behavior, I've become really disappointed and frustrated, because nothing is done. There is people talk, but I think government should take some actions. But government is not interested because of the economy. So it's very expensive to take care of the planet.
Absolutely, and that needs to shift. Once the incentive shifts to actually you can make money from saving the planet.
We have to shift like to renewable energy and to take care of our land, so sustainable agriculture. But it all takes time and an extra investment.
All right. Well, you have a big voice, so I have a little voice, and so you have a big voice. So hopefully you can, you can preach it to a lot of people and actually get some real policy out there, and swoon some UN people and swoon some people in Washington, and you're there in Moscow, go meet Putin and say, hey buddy, old boy, I don't know, like, but
art and beauty will save the world.
I believe in you. So Natalia, it's so beautiful to meet you. So lovely to meet you. We'll have you again on the show because we want to have you again, obviously.
It's great talking to you, and I hope to see you in London.
All right, we'll see you in London, right here behind me.
Yes, exactly.
All right, thank you very much for coming on Nation. All more coming all your way all this week.
Have a great day.